Hey, Shalom, Shalom, when the stuff was by giving no praise to Yahweh, Shem Shaba, Shem Dash, double honor to the apostles of GMS and honesty, brothers doing the work in truth, more sincerity. This is a quick one on this article. It was a bit old, it's the 9th of January. I have another article as well. It says toxic masculinity, right? American Psychological Association says it's bad to be a man. Excuse me. Yeah, basically, as apostles have spoken on, and I know Apostle Bar mentioned that, basically spoke on how they're basically trying to make it illegal to be manly, illegal to be a man. It says bullying, homophobia, sexual harassment, and abuse are all your fault according to new guidelines published by the world's largest association of psychologists, right? Now, whenever someone, if someone ever tries to bring this up, say, this is, basically speak on, how the American, Psychological Association said X, Y, Z, just, you couldn't combat them by just saying, look, man, these are the same people that, these people helped, the government in torture, because you know how people's views on torture are. Right, scripture says, "Thou shalt meditate terrors in the kingdom." We're gonna be doing some torturing of our own, right? But in this world, that's that's something that's frowned upon, right? And I forget where it is, but yeah, these guys, the devils, right? These are also the same people, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that basically talk about that transgenderism. Yeah, the association was one of the first such groups to stop considering transgenderism as a mental illness, right? So we know who these guys work for. These guys work for the elites, right? Pushing the agenda of the elites, right? Which got a lot of funding, comes from the military, for instance, right? Because you got a lot of them vets that go over to these wars and they get fucked up, and that's apparently one of the reasons why they did quote unquote condone torture. But like I said, people in this world, you ask them that, right? Because they're gonna try say, oh look, it's basically bad to be a man. It says from Zero Hedge, says, are you suffering from toxic masculinity? Right? It says more than 40% of this one's quite satire. It says more than 40% of men today suffer from it, and their loved ones pay the price, right? And they're just taking the piss, right? It says even the faintest whisper of facial hair, right? And that's the thing, the scriptures talk about a man that's supposed to have facial hair, but that's one of the things that they look down upon. You're not clean, you haven't got a job, you're not this, you're not that, if you have a facial hair. But now, spirits had to wear by that facial hair spirit. I think, what was it, 2 years ago that started being a thing, and now everyone's doing it like it's cool, right? Well, we were doing it first because we were commanded to do it, right? A belief that men and women are at least a bit different, which is just facts. Right, and this is the irony of the world that we live in, because in times when a chick can't lift something, what's the first thing she's doing? She's calling someone. You ask why it's unacceptable to hit a woman. All of the reasons are like, but you're stronger, you're this, you're that. But wait, I thought you said we're not different. Right? So during professional nurse, eating meat on occasion. Yeah, so then you might even do something like, you might be courting a woman, might hold the door open, and she might get at you for that shit, right? Oh, I'm an independent woman. That's better, and that's the thing. Right, he's had no problem having toxic females, right? But apparently it's a problem being a manly man. But it's okay for these women to act like men, right? Says being a man who doesn't hate himself, right? Yeah, you see them guys on the social medias like, oh, why are men such X, Y, Z? And you're reading expecting it to be a bitch, and it's a fucking man, right? So this man's a devil and he's effeminized men, right? And it's a damn fucking shame, Right, it says Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Right, now this is this is only the devil would make being a man illegal, which basically that's the direction we're heading in, right? Only the devil would do some shit like that, right? Because Jesus already made it illegal in some places to basically talk to a woman, right? If you chatting to a woman, you talk to chat her up or whatever, what have you, and she doesn't like it, right? She can get you fined for that shit, right? So only the devil would do that, right? It says Isaiah 29:16, surely you're turning of things upside down. Man, you turn these things upside down, man. Right? We went from a position where men were men and women were women. You'd come home from the mine and the woman and the wife or whatever would have prepared some food for you, looked after the kid. The kids would be in bed by that time. She's put on her best clothes so that she can give you, some good service. Right, but now you've got a beast at home, right? Whereas the man's all effeminate. The man's, oh yes, baby, right? He says, surely your turn of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the works of him that made it, he made me not, or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding. So Esau's basically, looked at what the Most High has done, and then basically said the Most High didn't have any understanding, and then he's turned it upside down. Right, here is the man, head of the house. Man does what he's doing. Esau comes around and he flips it, right? Because he's the devil. Right, so Isaiah 10:1 says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Right. So this is this ain't a law just yet, but these are the things that turn into laws. You read there that was the same one of the first people that basically said transgenderism wasn't a mental illness, which it fucking is. You was born with gonads, and then now you've cut that out to be a vagina, right? You think you telling me that's not a fucking mental illness, right? I don't know if anything else can be more than a mental illness, right? You bugged out. You got demons on you, man, right? And those missiles are gonna exercise those demons. Right, so Job 38:3 says, gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee and answer thou me. So here is the scriptures demand us to be a man, right? The scriptures demand us to be a man. And that's one of the things we got to do when we come into this truth. Right? We got to shake off the old man, because, hey, look, man, hey, especially, brothers around my age, right, 20s, early 20s, whatever, what have you, you've had an outright attack against your manliness from the day you were born, right? And if you're a brother who's just finished uni, you've had some serious attacks, right? Because I see, some of the people I went to school with after uni, they were bugged the fuck out. They too were talking about this toxic masculinity shit, and then you ask them, so what does that mean? They can't even give you a fucking answer. Why? Because that university is all about indoctrination, right? But from the day we're born, right, we've been attacked, man. Right? Let me get that. That's why when we come into this thing, it's all about being, renewed. Right? It's all about, shaking off the old man. Right? It's Romans 12:2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. And that's one of the reasons you can't be conformed to this world, because this world basically says being a man is illegal, more or less. You walk into certain places, you got your base out, people look at you a certain way. Well, that's why we ain't supposed to be conformed to this world, right? And then because our minds are supposed to be renewed so we can shake off this world. And that's what, I don't know if I completed saying what I wanted to say, but that's why you've got to, what do you call it? That's why you've got to overcome this world, right? That's why your mind mentally, you have to overcome this world and shake that shit off, right? Because it's been an attack on us, and we will have some effeminate traits. We'll have some beta male traits, right? We'll have some simp traits, but like I said, that's because that's been pushed on us from the very time we were very young. As 1 Corinthians 6:9, know you not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind. Right? Hey, so look, if you're effeminate, man, right, yeah, because what's one of the things, you'll be offended by the scriptures. Right, there are certain things in the scriptures that are very offensive to an effeminate individual, right? So if you're offended, you certainly ain't making it, right? Unless you, what you call it, overcome that offense and you become more manly, right? But yeah, no, I need to get prepared for the job. So yeah, shalom, hopefully that was edifying. Right, and fuck this devil, man. Be a man. All of us, we gotta be men. We carry ourselves like men because the Lord commanded us to. Right, so shalom, yabashim, ashra,